Let's see. Give him a live one. Let's get it. I appreciate that. That's love, brother. That's real love, too. Oh, yeah, that's better for you, man. All right, bro. We live, bro. Let's get it. Jumped up to the front. Gainesville, what's going on? It's your boy Jerk Jerkins right here on WBT 90.1 FM, the Beat, the People's Station. And it's 2 o'clock on Saturdays, man. Dad, can we talk? Y'all know we do this every Saturday at 2, man. This is a space and a place for us to discuss all things important and related to fatherhood with an emphasis on black fatherhood, which I think is a very particular perspective, you know. That we really don't really get to see opinions expressed from a lot, you know, the mainstream. So we try to do that here. Anyway, I got my homie young minister in the building, Mr. Anthony Rashad Wade. Ray, welcome, my brother.
What's going on?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
So this week, you had some things you wanted to discuss. Some things that I noticed that you noticed this week. We talked a little bit about some things in our show earlier for the fella that I'm sure we'll probably talk about today as well. I definitely would bring up if you know. But yeah, let's get to it. Let's start off and where do you want to begin?
Well, you know, earlier this week, I was at home Thursday night, man. And if anybody know me, they know I love the NBA.
Nice. You are.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like for the fellas, I'm gonna go ahead and talk to you real quick. I'm sorry, keep talking about them.
Yeah.
They suck at sports. Like y'all boys don't watch ESPN or nothing. Like the stuff I ask is general stuff. I don't ask for stats and stuff. You know, just bro, how you felt about this big stuff. That, you know what I mean? You don't have to research the stuff. And my boys, they disappoint every week. But I still ask the sports questions just because. But my bad. Yeah, bro. But even the day you were on the show, you made the NBA discussion more in depth than it usually would go.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you doing that, man. But yeah, my bad, bro.
Man, I've been a sports fan for a long time. Man. I've been that's just one of my things. That's a hobby for me, man. Following sports. I love basketball. Definitely college basketball and NBA. I love it, man. And you know, I just like to follow, you know, the stories of certain people. I was talking with someone at work the other day, and this one woman said, she was like, "Why y'all be so interested in that basketball stuff?" I say, "Shoot, why women be interested in soap operas?" I say, "Y'all got soap operas.
Kardashian,
you know, we got the NBA,
right,
we got the NFL. Like that's our thing, you know. And there's a lot of storylines and a lot of things that you can follow." And I was just like, I mean, it's just something that, you know, some of us do. Not all men, just some of us.
Right.
But I'm one of the ones that really love it, man. And the NBA draft was on Thursday night. And, you know, one thing that I really noticed over the years is that, you know, when guys get drafted, when guys receive awards like the MVP award, when they're just giving shout outs, you know, it's always, you know, this sentiment, you know, to mom, you know. And I understand it. I ain't acting like I don't understand it. But a lot of times I'm like, dang, why nobody ain't never talking about dad? Like, why nobody ain't never like, man, you know what, man, I want to give a shout out to my dad. Now, every now and then you would see it, you know, a couple of years ago, Russell Westbrook, when he won his MVP award, Russell Westbrook gave a big shout out to his dad. He's like, you know, him and his dad was really close.
Okay.
And I'm like, dang, you know, when he was just that, his whole MVP speech, man, like I really felt that, man. And as I was watching this NBA draft, and in the beginning they had all of the players come out, you know, they walked out, and they were all introduced, and they had either, you know, their parents or family members. Some of the guys came out by themselves. But the first thing I noticed, literally the first thing, I'm like, the first probably 3 or 4 the guys came out with their dads, and I'm like, oh shoot,
Wow.
that's what's up, you know. And the more and more I kept watching it, this is so and so, he's with mom and dad, and I'm like, you know, one of the guys came out with just his dad, and I'm like, dang, you know what, that's really what's up, you know. And as we've talked about many times on this show, you know, I believe that there's like this stigma of like, oh, well, dads aren't there, you know, black dads aren't there, or black men aren't involved. But I'm like, that ain't really what I see. Right. You know, I've been seeing a lot of course, there are men that aren't there for their children. Okay, we understand that and we get that. There's a lot of dads that, you know, aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. There are a lot of deadbeats out here. But that's with everyone. That's with every race.
Yeah, that transcends. That's a behavior. That's not it's something that has to do with, you know, who you are, where you're from, you know, exactly. What you look like, you know.
Exactly. So, because, you know, and I was talking with a guy at work the other day also, and I was telling him, you know, man, I know so many dads, man, you know, I took him back to February when I was shouting out all the dads, you know, 28 dads for the 28 days in February.
Nice.
Black dads. And I'm like, man, I could have went for a whole 3 months.
Oh, yeah.
Easy. Like, easy. You know, like, for them 28 days, I'm like shuffling people in, like, dang, somebody gonna get left out. You know, because I just know too many good dads. Got people around me, I know dads, man, black dads who really out handling their business. And just watching this NBA draft, and then as guys began to get drafted, you know, you see a RJ Barrett, you know, crying on his dad's shoulder. You see a Ja Morant.
Florida boy too.
Yeah. Looking at what's his name? Ja Morant. And you know, he's shouting out his dad, and his dad is right there with him, and he's like, you know, man, my dad, the one who really pushed me. You know, and I'm like, that is what, like, it just made me so happy, man. Honestly, it was something that really it warmed my heart, because, you know, I think that's not something that we see enough. You know, we don't see enough of dads being shouted out, and dads really being there and being involved, not just being there, but I'm talking about really being involved with their education, not just their sports, but their education, and, you know, supporting them emotionally and mentally, spiritually. You see Jared Culver, the guy who got drafted out of Texas Tech.
Okay.
Jared Culver had his dad up there with him, and you know, his dad is a pastor, and he's just talking about how his dad just really supported him, you know, all throughout, you know, all his middle school and high school, elementary, just really helping him be there and become the man that he wants to be. And I'm like, man, that is really what's up, bro. You know, it was something that I don't know, maybe I ain't paid attention in years past, but this year it was more than ever, more than I've ever seen. Just dads, bro, being there. And it wasn't just the black dads. The one white guy, Tyler Hero from Kentucky, he had his dad there. His dad just bawled and cried, just like, man, you know, and it just made me happy, bro. Like, man, dads are really, you know, I believe that in 2019 we're reclaiming what's ours, because for so long we've had this stigma on us, man. We're not there. Dads don't do this. And I talked about this before also, that I think so many times people have made dads seem like we're just like lames or something, or dads are goofy or whatever. Like, oh, we can't leave the kids with dad, or, you know, we can't trust dad to go grocery shopping or whatever.
Yeah, you're like
but it's like
bumbling idiot.
Yeah,
like Homer Simpson.
Like Homer Simpson, you know. And that's not us, you know. I mean, maybe it's some of us. You know, all of us got our ways. But you know, but we can hold our own, you know, and that's what I'm striving to be, you know. I'm just really striving to be one of those dads that supports my children through it all. And I was looking up some stats about this, and I found these stats that said, and these came from, and this we're gonna talk about this, one of our next subjects about the All Pro Dad. All Pro Dad is a fatherhood